Welcome to the Studio Chat podcast. My name is Barbara Thompson. Each week, I'll be bringing you a self-care expert or a message to help you to discover how to live your best life and understand your mind-body connection. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let the Studio Chat begin. Hey guys, in this episode I chat with Holly. She's an agency director for New Zealand's first curve agency, Belle Models. Belle Models represent body confident, strong size models and influencers. They pride themselves on being authentic, diverse and real. I had a really great chat with Holly today, and it was really interesting because during our conversation I kept hearing snoring, or I throughout the conversation I couldn't work out what it was, and you may hear it in some parts of this podcast today, like a little bit of a snore or something. And at the end I said to Holly, do you have a dog or something? Because I could hear something. She was, oh yeah, hang on. And you wouldn't believe it, she turned her camera around and she has a pug, guys. You know how much I love pugs because I used to have one. And so this is a big shout out to Darcy too. He's a cute little boy pug that was sitting there through the whole podcast. And I would like to welcome him to the podcast too because he did a few little snores and stuff through it. So yeah, it was such a pleasure speaking with Holly today. Let's dive on into my chat with her. Welcome to this episode of Studio Chat. I have with me the beautiful Holly, an agency director from Belle Models in New Zealand. Belle Models started in 2017. It's a new generation of modelling. It's New Zealand's first curve agency, and it represents body confidence, strong size models and influencers. They pride themselves in being authentic, diverse and real, which I love so much. Thank you, Holly, for all you do for women of all ages. The work you do is really important, and I just think it's, especially with the way that social media is going and the more that we're seeing all sorts of diverse body types and self-love, it's just really important, real life and real models. So thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you, Barbara. This is exciting.
It's so exciting. I'd love for you to share a little bit with my listeners, a bit about you, Holly, and why you do what you do.
Okay. So I was lucky enough to take over Belle Models a couple of months ago from the original founder. And being plus size myself, I was really passionate about the brand. Because I do feel that we need to see more representation in social media, in society, just everywhere. So obviously Belle Models is a model agency focused on our plus size, curvy, strong size, whatever you want to call it. We want you. We focus on breaking industry standards. So we do have models from size 6 to 8 up to a 26. So we don't have just a focus on plus size, but we're definitely about focusing on getting that representation into the media of something that's not been in the media before. So yeah, we're just about breaking industry standards at the end of the day and really promoting that self-love and body positivity for everyone, no matter what size or shape, anything like that. We want to see you. We want to promote you. That's what it's all about.
And you guys are based in Auckland?
Yes, I live in Auckland, and we obviously have a lot of events and things happening in Auckland, but we do focus on all over New Zealand, and we're lucky enough to have a few models in Australia as well.
Okay. So anyone listening to this, if it as we go along, it sounds interesting, someone in New Zealand or Australia can get in contact with you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's awesome. And for people that don't know much about the industry, when you say like the industry standards, could you just share with us a little bit about like today what that looks like?
Yeah, today is very different, but we're still seeing a lot of brands sticking to a certain look and a certain size. It depends, obviously. You'll kind of notice there's a lot of the smaller petite women still being shown as our models. So we're talking kind of size 10 to 12 as the normal. And yeah, we're all about kind of going past that. We want the woman with the boobs and the big bums. We want the curves. We want the different ethnicities. We want, people trans, non-binary, like all of that is what we really want to promote, because we're not seeing as much of that as we should.
Yeah. It's just really important too, because I think I haven't done any research on this, but I think off the top of my head, currently now in New Zealand and Australia, is the standard size of most women is a 14 and a 16. Do you find that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that is categorized as plus size, which I don't quite agree with. I don't think all 14s are plus size, or even curvy. You can have a very small size 14. So it's quite amazing that we've got that as the standard now, but we're still not so much seeing that in the brand's promotion of their clothing or their size range, or who they cater to. They might have that size in their range, but they're not actually promoting that size. So it's very interesting, because
Yeah, I'm quite interested to know, is there a difference between plus size and curve models, or is it just different names for the same thing?
just different names for the same thing. Yeah. Honestly, I hate the word plus size. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I think curvy's a nicer way of saying that you have a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we're all human. I don't think we should be oh God, I can't think of the word.
Classifying?
We shouldn't be categorizing ourselves by a word. And I'm plus size. I'm a size 20. I'm curvy. I'm voluptuous. I'm fat. It doesn't matter what I call myself. I'm me. I'm human. So I think it's silly, but people obviously respond to it and they relate to that word for now. So,
that's really interesting. I'd love for you to share with me and my listeners a bit about, like, what does life look like as an agency director in a curve modeling agency?
yeah, every day is different, which I love. A lot of my day is spent on my emails. So I get brands emailing me about shoots, or they want to chat about a model and how she might work for them. I spend days, reviewing applications that I've received. I get a lot of emails just of girls, wanting to see if they're suitable. So I get a lot of beautiful pictures in my inbox, of women who want to, see if they might be able to join the agency. I spend a bit of time on the phone too. I jump on the phone, I talk to brands, get a better idea of what they're actually wanting. Including models. I do all my interviews for new applications via Zoom. Wow. So I spend a lot of time on Zoom selling the brand, selling the agency, and obviously letting them know how I can help them and what I can do for them in this opportunity. And then I have kind of face-to-face meetings with any of my Auckland girls that want to catch up, which has been really, really lovely to meet them in person. So I do a few breakfast meetings, but honestly, it's a lot of Zoom and a lot of just emails. But I'm constantly pushing. The minute I jump on my email to the minute I finish, I'm pushing the brand. I'm on Instagram. I'm planning, who I'm going to show for that day. I'm answering messages on Instagram from people. It's just constantly talking about self-love and body positivity, and what I do is a lot of my day, which is really cool because I'm very passionate about it. And I've got these amazing women on the books or applying that I get to talk to, that I get to connect to, which is really cool. And obviously today's a little bit different. I get to talk to you.
Yeah. Lucky.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool because you are changing people's lives. Like, it's really interesting. We can all of us can go back, and me too. I'm 14, 16, and that's where I've always been in my life, you know. But my body shape and weight can change, but my size kind of stays the same. And it's interesting because we all have, I'm sure all of us, no matter what our size, no matter how we look, we can remember things that someone has said as a throwaway comment. Oh, you're wearing those pants out. Or at high school, you hear a boy walk past and go, oh, you got a big bum. Or I don't know, like I'm sure I have plenty of stories like that. And they stick with you for life. And then when they meet someone like you, Holly, you're changing women's lives to accept, like, it's okay to be who you are. It's beautiful to be who you are. You don't need to lose weight or change your body to be a model and to be represented by an agency and represent brands and be an influencer. And it's I want to thank you for all those women that you're doing this beautiful work to help women accept, like, part of self-love and self-care is just, no, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthier or feel better about yourself or all that kind of stuff, but you have to start in that one place. You're like, I'm actually okay as I am now. Yep. And you give women permission to help them be that. So thank you.
Oh, look, it's my absolute pleasure. I'm very passionate about this because I was a size 12 in high school, and I got bullied for being a size 12, which crazy. And now I'm a size 20, and I just don't care. I don't care what people think about my body, about what I wear, because it's not their body, it's not their clothing. If I'm comfortable, then I'm happy. And I want more people to be the same, because it's a huge thing when you get to this point where you can just be yourself and love yourself for who you are and not worry about what other people have to say about who you are. And it starts with the agency, and I'm so lucky I was able to, take over, and I can now push it in an even bigger way through my channels, through the agency. I can really do it, and I love it. It's fun. I get to talk to these amazing people and just boost them and give them some confidence and tell them they're beautiful, because they are. And I'm very grateful that I get to do that. And I think we need more of this in the world. And if I could clone myself, I would, because I think it should just be natural that we tell people on the street, you look beautiful today. It shouldn't be a thing. So I'm grateful I get to do it as my job.
You're changing
more of it.
You're changing people's lives, because you think of especially the younger generation. Like, I know growing up, and I was like a 12 probably most of my at primary school. I was never overweight. Intermediate, never overweight. High school, when my body started changing, I play a lot of sport, but I would have been about a 12. In the media, I knew, but I didn't know. I would look at these girls that I used to hang around with or in the media, and I'd be like, oh, I just could never look like that. But I always wanted to look like that. And I'd do anything I could to try and look like that. And what I love about your agency is what you're doing, the knock-on effect and the flow-on effect of, first of all, making women feel accepted and seen and represented. The knock-on effect of that is young girls, the younger generation, looking at the billboards, looking at any type of media. There's still magazines out there. There's still print out there. There's still, obviously, brands will do marketing in so many different avenues. But that image or that woman may be seen by a little girl that one day just is not having a good day, and she's like, I don't see anyone with my size. It still happens today. No one looks like me. And then all of a sudden, you could do a campaign with someone, with one of your models out there, and you could change that one little girl's life.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's, one campaign can make such a difference, but it really can. And it's just crazy that even, nowadays it's probably worse in primary school, intermediate and high school, for that kind of bullying, the shame, all of that fun stuff is happening in a way bigger way than when I was in school. And that's scary because children in primary school and intermediate should not be worried about the way their body looks, or anything like that to do with how they look. It's actually crazy, and it's scary that that's the case. And yeah, I'm very lucky that I can get these beautiful models out into brands like the Warehouse, for example, who they love one of my models. She's a size 22. And it's just so cool that they are so on board with her. And then, yeah, people are going to see her across New Zealand in the campaigns that they're showing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing what you can do with one small campaign, one small picture, one small Instagram post. And that's what I'm just trying to do. It's step by step, it's day by day. But if I can make a difference with one small picture, then I'm doing my job. And I'm making a difference.
Oh, I just love everything you do. That's why I've got you on here today, obviously. But for my Australian listeners that don't know what the Warehouse is, it's like a department store brand. And they still do, correct me if I'm wrong, but they still do the mailers and the letterbox. Do they still do that?
Oh, I don't receive them, but I believe they do. I'm not sure, actually.
Because I haven't been home for nearly 6 years, but I know that back in the day, every week you'd get a brochure in the letterbox, showing the children's toys and children's pajamas. Then it'd be the women's activewear. It'd be 1 or 2 pages with models on there, but kids see those, people see those, and that's when you said that your models in the Warehouse now. That's my mind first went to cool. Whoever's picking up that catalogue or that flyer is actually going to see that woman, and the more that she's out there representing that brand, how amazing is that?
That's it. It's so amazing. And she actually said to me as well, she's like, I'm just shocked that they still want me. Like, I'm so excited, I'm nervous. And I'm like, you're doing amazing things and they love you, so you shouldn't be shocked. You just doing what you're doing because they obviously love it, and people are responding to you really well via the social media. So just embrace it.
But you know what? Shame on the world. That shouldn't even be a deal. She should be able to be like that's how the world it's all built into us from a marketing point of view the day we were born on this earth to look a certain way, be a certain way. Like I have nothing against Barbie dolls, love them. I think they're cool. If I had a daughter, we'd play Barbies together because it's part of a childhood thing. But it was interesting because there was a documentary a while ago out here, and the name, I can't remember the name of it, but they did a experiment with little kids, and they had Barbie dolls, but they were different sizes. So one Barbie doll was the normal Barbie doll, then one was she had wider hips and bigger boobs, and then there was another one that was severely overweight. Like there was the 3 options, and what they did with group of boys and a group of girls, one at a time, they put the Barbie dolls in front of the kids and say to the kids, which one do you think is lazy? Which one do you think will get married? Which one do you think is healthy? Which one do you think, like all these questions, and which one do you think has heaps of friends? Which one do you think gets bullied and all that stuff? And it was all obviously the one that was lazy and healthy was this one. Why? Because it's fat. And you know what? Health can be at every size. I know many women that are deemed by the doctor as being overweight. Their blood work is great. They feel good in their bodies. They're healthy and they're happy. And then there's other women that are really skinny fat that are really, like you look at them and you think, oh my God, you're skinny, so you must be healthy. They smoke a lot, they drink a lot, they live off caffeine. They're very deeply stressed or anxious. But they're not healthy. So it's interesting that I really believe health at every size. You can't just look at someone and it's like you can't judge a book by its cover, which is so true, but you can't look at someone and determine their size by their health.
Definitely not. It's a really archaic way of thinking, and that documentary is so suggestive. So you're not actually, okay, which one is lazy? Well, I'm sorry, but you don't know
Exactly.
which one's lazy. Like, it's so suggestive, and it's sad they did that with children because probably similar adults would be similar maybe response, but it's like, wow, what are you telling those kids?
Mm.
It is archaic the way that we see healthy now. And you're quite right. There is plus size women who do CrossFit, for example, and they are super strong and muscly and do weigh more than maybe their healthy BMI says they should. But they are so incredibly fit, they would run circles around a teeny tiny lady who doesn't do exercise. Like, it's just, yeah, it's very archaic, and it is a shame. It's a real shame that we see a plus size woman or curvy woman on a billboard, in a magazine, and we go, wow, good on her.
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking. I'm like, why is it good on her? Why shouldn't she be on the billboard? Why shouldn't she be in the magazine? Like, it shouldn't be a thing. It should be, wow, she's beautiful.
But
Like,
yeah, but if I'm being really honest with you right now, my brain automatically does that still today. I will see someone and go, yeah, I'll go, yes, this is awesome. Oh, good on. Oh, I will actually say in my head, oh, that's good on her. And I went, no, 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 no. So it's programmed into us that even when I work with ladies day to day about this stuff, so do you. Honestly, if I'm honest, I still see something and go, good on. And I have to actually catch myself and call myself out and be like, no, no, no. It's just a woman just doing a campaign for Levi's or something. And that's why I like, we spoke about before we started recording the podcast, like one of the ladies that I really admire and love is Ashley Graham. And if you're listening to this and you don't know who she is, I would really highly recommend you looking up her on Instagram. And she was the first plus size, let's say, Sports Illustrated like model. And she's made leaps and bounds to, her whole life was trying to fight it too, trying to lose the weight, trying to do this, and then something in her shifted and she was like, you know what, this is my biggest asset is my body and who I am. I'm going to use my voice. And she's helped so many other women and she's worked with so many big brands. I think she did a big campaign for Revlon and stuff. I don't know if Revlon are going to be around much longer, but she's done a lot of global brands that she's been the front person for.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's awesome because she did kind of start the movement in the US in her own way. And then we've kind of followed. And it's amazing. It's really cool. And you have to call yourself out. When you hear yourself say, good on her, you need to be like, no, 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 no. It's, wow, she's beautiful. Because at the end of the day, she is just doing her thing. She's in her body. She loves her body and she's being really confident, which is what we all should get to at some point, ideally. It's just being confident to be like, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about body confidence, what does it mean to you?
Oh, your body confidence to me is just being confident in your own body, as it is. You might want to lose some weight. You might want to change something about yourself. That's okay. You don't have to stay the same. It's good to change. But I think it's being confident in yourself enough to wear the dress you want to wear the colours you want to wear, go out in something you love and not be worried about other people. Just being confident in your body and knowing that you're beautiful and you look amazing. Regardless of what anyone else might say, you look amazing. And a lot of it just comes down to, yeah, like you've literally got to talk to yourself in the mirror sometimes and you've got to like tell yourself you're beautiful. But I think it's just being confident enough to do what you want and not worry about other people's views, ideals, or what they might say to you. So like I say, just wear what you want, do what you want, and know that it's for you and not anyone else. That's kind of what it is for me.
Yeah, thank you. That's such I know that comes straight from the heart. So thank you. That answer means a lot. With your agency, I know it's about being authentic and diverse and real. Can you tell me a bit more about what you look for in your agency?
Yeah, so when I took over, I obviously sat on the agency a little bit with what I wanted to change. And that was an addition that I added to the agency website and on Instagram, because for me, that's what I want it to be. And that's who I am. I'm really authentic. I tell it like it is. I'm really diverse. I come from a multicultural family. I have diverse multicultural friends. I love everyone. But also real is so important to me, because if we're not real, who are we? Why do we wear a mask when we don't need to? We really, really don't need to. And to be honest, if someone doesn't like you, it's not your person. It's
Ooh.
not your tribe. And I've found that as I've got older, that's harder to find. And that's okay. I'm okay with that, because I don't want to be associated with people that aren't authentic, that aren't real, and that aren't diverse, because they're not my people. But obviously I added that to the agency because that's really important for me. I don't want it to be a cookie cutter agency. I don't want it to be the same as everyone else. But also I want anyone and everyone to apply and know that they're wanted, they're beautiful, they're human. But also for brands to understand that we are all about the diverse, authentic nature of who we have on the books. So when they come to us to book a model, they have options. They have a range of options, sizes, ethnicities, looks, from, prep to alternative. I've got them all. And that's what I want it to be. Because at the end of the day, when you do look at agencies in New Zealand and Australia, it's very much the same. You see the same type of people, the same look, and that's cool. That's awesome. There's a market for that. But I don't want Belle to be that. And that starts with being real, starts with being authentic. Um, I'm very open. So I'm always like talking to my girls about, you can come to me with anything. I'm here to chat. I'm here to talk. Like, open communication on what's happening behind the scenes for you. So that's really where I come in. I want it to be more than just a model agency, as most people think model agencies are. So
Most women would want to stay clear from an agency because they don't want to eat cotton balls soaked in water or whatever that thing is. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many catty and bitchiness, and I'm sure there's some young girls or women of any age listening to this podcast thinking, I'd love to give modelling a go, or I'd love to represent how I look, my different look to the world, but they don't want to because there's no place for them. But with your agency, it's about, I don't think there's a difference between saying you're authentic and real and being authentic and real. So I know there's some agencies that would say that they're real and they'll take anyone and that's all BS, where I can see you right now. I know you're authentic. I know you're real, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you. It's it's really cool, because when I do these interviews for new models, I get to obviously talk and kind of share my passion, and I can sell my passion this way. People can see that I am real, I am authentic, and that I'm just me. I'm human, and I want to help them. And it's not about just having someone else on the books. That's not it for me. I'm very much, it's personal. I want to know your goals. I want to know who you want to work with. And then I'm very much one-on-one. So it's very different from any other kind of agency. And that's where the real comes in, because I want it to be very real. And yeah, you don't just join and never hear from me again. That's not what it's about. And it's just great. I get to chat with all these beautiful ladies and get to know them really well and make friends from these ladies too. And just because that's me, that's how I want to do things. And people are responding, which is really, really cool. And yeah, we're quite different from anyone else. So it's
And
even better.
that's that's a good thing. Are you finding now? I know how long have you had the business for now?
Only a couple months.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that couple of months, have you noticed when companies and brands are contacting you, what are they asking for? Are they asking for? Because it must be interesting as a brand owner or business owner to come to an agency. Hey, I'm looking, without putting someone in a box. I'm looking for this. What are they asking for?
Yeah, so I'm really proud. I have doubled the amount of shoots booked last month to last year.
Wow.
So that was huge for me because that was like, okay, I'm doing something right and I'm making a difference. This is really cool. So we booked 15 shoots last month, which is huge. In those 15 shoots, it was very, very different. We had, from the top of my head, we had 2 or 3 lingerie shoots. So they were looking for a certain type of size, which makes sense for that kind of shoot. We booked, we booked quite a number of shoots across activewear brands and big department stores. Those ones had found the model on the website, so they knew who they wanted, and they just contacted me straight away with, I want this person, we're going to do a shoot on this day, is she free? A lot of the emails I get, though, are very vague, so I'm very lucky that the brands give me a lot of kind of creative direction in who I choose to send. So they have a very vague idea of the size. Sometimes it's between, a size 12 to a size 20. And I obviously get a bit of creative direction in choosing who I send through. So yeah, I'm kind of, last month, sorry, has been a real mix. We've definitely had I'd say size 12 to 24. We've had models booked. It's been lingerie, it's been activewear, we've had some kind of made to order clothing companies. They do beautiful dresses. And across New Zealand, not just Auckland where I'm based, we've had Auckland, Raglan, Hamilton, Wellington. It's been very interesting because I can't actually say there's been one type of model wanted or one size wanted or one type of person. It's been very all over the place, which is quite cool because that means I get more opportunities for different women. But probably, and if I think about it, we do have more reach or more want for the size 16 to 18 at the moment seems to be very popular. So that's definitely got a bit more interest than maybe my other size ladies.
Yeah, is age a factor? So say I'm nearly 42, could I jump on your books, just say if that's what I wanted to do, age is discrimination in a way, but in your agency and in modelling in general, is it just young people if they want to apply or?
No, it's not. I thought it might be when I first started. And I do have a lot of younger women on my books. But no, I'm finding that brands are actually really open to any age, as long as they fit the measurements, as long as they fit the size, as long as they fit the vibe that they're going for. And I do have some more, I have some mature ladies on the books, and I'm kind of doing a bit more of a push for that because I do want to have more range of ages than just say 20s, which is, they're beautiful, but also anyone over in their 30s and above, I definitely want because we will have something for them. Because I'm finding it's not about age. It's really just comes down to the vibe of the person and the brand. Just if you fit the measurements, which is great because that's more options.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening to this and they're at whatever age and they have wanted to, uh, so when you talk about modeling agency, if someone wants to be on your books, what type of work may come their way?
Yeah, different opportunities. We get a mixture of collaborations, which is free. You know, you go along for the shoot and you get photos as your payment. We get a lot of that. We get a lot of activewear and lingerie shoots. And also just kind of your basic department store type clothing. So there's a lot of photos being taken. There's some video happening. We've got a couple of beauty brands who have contacted me in the last couple of weeks who want to do videos with models. So that requires a little bit of different type of confidence to do a video. But we get a real mix, to be honest. And I always say to my models as well, if I pitch you a shoot and you can't do it, you don't want to do it, whatever the reason, you can say no. So I'm not forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of beautiful at the moment, especially the kind of made to order clothing seems to be very popular right now. And I'm getting some really cool brands that I haven't even heard of before kind of contact me and want to work with models. And those shoots are really fun. They're very playful and mainly location shoots. So you go to the beach, you run around. It looks like a lot of fun. So there's a real mix of opportunities that I can offer my models.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm kind of going to focus a little bit more on talent and acting opportunities too, because I do have a number of girls who are quite interested in that side of things. And then I've got my influencers, which is just kind of getting started, and they want content creation opportunities. So it might just be a simple video about a product. So I'm kind of got a bit of everything, really. Which just depends what people want to do, and I can kind of hopefully make it happen.
It's so interesting. So, like, if anyone's listening to this and they're thinking that they may like to try modeling or curve modeling, if they're talking and they can resonate with you and they're like, oh, I want to find out more, where's the best place to start?
Either the website obviously has a fair bit of information. It's got the application form. You can have a look at that. You can always email me if you just want to have a chat. But also Instagram is a good place. You can see some of the models doing what they do. Who we have on the books gives you an idea that, there's people that look just like you doing this. So Instagram's a really good one for that kind of boost of confidence, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like the website, you can have a little look at the website and just send me an email. Flick me an email. I'm more than happy to talk and just chat about the agency and how I can help you. Because, yeah, you might have specific questions that you might want to ask, and I'm not scary. You can email me anytime and I will reply. So I encourage it because you won't know until you ask.
Exactly. And your agency is all about, I want to chat about self-love and body positivity as well. So I guess they come into two categories, but you did touch on it earlier why they are important to you. But how are you going to reflect that through your business and the women that you help with, like, self-love and body positivity?
Yeah, I think a lot of it at the moment is obviously on Instagram. I'm able to give them a real big boost when they see their photo on the Instagram page and shared on my stories. I think that's a real cool boost for their confidence. So I do that a fair bit. If you join the agency, I have a private Instagram page, which gives you tons of cool stuff in there that really does focus on confidence, tips and tricks, all that really fun stuff is all in there. In general, though, I think a lot of it, I have events that I encourage people to join, and it's all about just getting out there, getting some beautiful pictures taken for yourself. It doesn't need to be for your application or for your portfolio. But a lot of what I share on Instagram as well is very focused on, is in my stories, is very focused on that self-love and body positivity. I find beautiful artwork, beautiful quotes, etc., from other artists, other people, and I share them because I think we need to see that every now and again. But also, I think just in general, you can kind of jump on a chat with me, and I will talk your ear off about it, and just like push that you're beautiful and you're human. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways that I'm already doing it, and in small ways, I'm kind of pushing it. But I definitely want to focus more on the pushing of self-love and body positivity. Still working on how I'm going to do that, but it's so important. It's really, really important. I was just going to say, I've got a really cool brand. I've got a really cool platform, and I'm going to make the most of that. So, like, come and follow me on Instagram because that's where it's kind of going to happen.
It's going to blow up for sure. And because it's New Zealand's first curve agency as well, because you're in the industry and you're talking about the stuff every day and you're seeing it every day. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? Do you think, obviously you're a couple of months in, but do you think you would have seen a different side to it now you're actually in the industry seeing it all? Do you think there is a movement that it is getting better, or do you think there's still a lot of fat shaming and a lot of people judging people for how they look and you know what I mean, that whole, where do you stand, like, personally and professionally, in the whole curve model, someone being bigger than a size 12 and just people commenting or whatever? Just where do you think we're at with all of that?
Look, I think we've got a lot of work. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. People see it. It's still out there. I'm very lucky on my Belle page. We don't get that kind of commentary. I'm not having to worry about anyone being disrespectful. So I'm very lucky in that sense because it can happen and I've seen it happen. I just think it's disgusting. Like, at the end of the day, would you actually say that to someone's face? A lot of keyboard warrior, and that's not okay at all. So we do have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of movement to make, but we're getting there. We are getting there, and it is slow, especially in New Zealand. It's very slow. I don't know so much about Australia, but we're still struggling with the fact of just kind of moving with the movement. I don't think it's going anywhere, though, in the sense of the movement. I think it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. And we just need to continue to have people like myself and my models representing and pushing the fact that they are beautiful, that everyone's human, that you can be confident in your body no matter what you look like. It's really the only way we're going to get forward and keep pushing. And I say, if you ever have a comment on your own personal picture, just delete it. Don't engage. Don't worry. People are just being people. Like, people are just being horrible, and they're probably just jealous, to be honest. So it's sad, but it is what it is. And I really do hope we get past that. But you're always going to have differing opinions on things, regardless what it is. So, yeah, we just got to keep moving forward as best we can.
Because beauty and health can, like I said, I'm a true believer that beauty and health can come in any size. And if there's someone that's out there and because I've been there, their whole life rules around how they look. As soon as they wake up to when they put their head on the pillow at night, it's associated with how their body is, their weight, their diet, really indulging in social media and looking at people that they want to look like, and it can rule your life, but it can also really damage your life, as in it just stunts you miss out on all the fun stuff. And that's why I think the more that we can visually see representation of people that are just built in different ways, because we all have fingerprints, we are all so different, but we want to be the same. Like we all want to look the same. And I think that is biological, how we're wired biologically, because if we're not liked by everyone, we get kicked out of the tribe and we get killed. So as long as everyone knows that when you feel like you want to be like everyone else, it's only a biological, wiring that's to keep you're safe. You're in today's world, you are safe, but also know that we are also different. We've got a fingerprint. No one's like you. Your body is your body, and to care for your body and nourish it rather than like hate it and wish to be something else. And I think it comes with age too, but once you work on those kind of standards for yourself, that it makes things a lot easier. But I think it makes it easier when you see things with your own eyes. People that are out there, and then once you get past the, oh my God, look at her, good on her, or gosh, I've had people say to me in the past when I've worn leggings or something, gosh, you've got big, strong legs, but I could never wear leggings like that. And it's like a backhanded compliment that is still out there now today, that people will always say things like that. I could never do that, or I'm bigger than that, but that's gross, I couldn't do that. And so it's interesting how people voice their opinions to what's out.
Yeah, it is. And you know what I say, if someone says that to me, because I've had it a few times, or more than a few times, I say, for example, I could never wear that. Why? It stops them in their tracks, because they're like, oh, what?
What do people say to you, Holly?
Most of the time they're like, I don't know. I don't think I'd look any good in them. Why?
What do you, if you feel comfortable enough, what's an example that you were wearing and someone had, like, I find that really disgusting, but someone said something about, can you give me an example?
Yeah, I think it was like a bodycon type dress. So it was kind of, it was tight, but it was, I thought it was very flattering on myself, and I felt really beautiful in it. And someone said to me, oh, wow, yeah, you're quite brave wearing that dress at your size. And I was like, what? I was quite taken aback. And
wow.
they said, well, yeah. They didn't know what to say after that. And I said, why shouldn't I wear this dress? Oh, well, you're bigger. I said, does that really matter? So I'm very much, if you have you should have enough confidence to go back to someone with that backhanded comment and say, why? Because you will stop them in their tracks, and they will go, oh, and they won't know what to say. So you've got to stand up for yourself. And it is hard, because I was taken aback by that person's comment.
You're
and I was
confident.
like,
You're
wow.
confident in who you are, and you still got taken back, right?
Yeah. And then I did think about it. I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't have worn this dress. Maybe I don't look good in it. Oh my goodness. And of course I had those thoughts. And then I just went back to the fact, no, I walked out of that house feeling really good. I know I look good. So, you know what? That person can just go away. Like, they are not going to make me feel bad about wearing this beautiful dress, because I feel amazing. And if they don't like it, it doesn't matter. They're not the one wearing it. They don't have to look at me if they don't want to.
But that's their limiting beliefs. So obviously they've got a limiting belief that, I could never look that good, or I could never wear that. And then they feel uncomfortable because they're not happy in their body. So they put that onto you. But thank you so much for sharing that, because I think it's really important for people to know that you can feel good in your body. You can wear whatever clothes make you feel good. And you know what, it happens to I have friends that are really, really lean. And they get people coming up to them asking if they have an eating disorder.
Wow.
and sometimes it's when they've got their kids around them. So it works. I want people to appreciate that it works at both ends. It doesn't just work when you carry a few extra kilos and someone says things to you. Oh, like I've had that before. Like, oh, why are you wearing those? And it's like, okay, cool. I was feeling semi-okay. So you can be confident and love yourself however that looks to you and wear the thing, but then you can have some random say something to you which can crush you, and then really, even that you said, even with all your experience and where you are at your life journey, you still actually went back and questioned those things. And it could even be a comment in social media, and influencers now that are curve models and that are out there that put their lives out there, and then they have all this hate and all this stuff, and then people go, oh, well, you shouldn't put your life out there then. And it's like, well, can't we just be nice to each other? And if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. But how that person said to you, oh, you're so brave. Oh my God, it's that word, you're so brave and you shouldn't be wearing that. And then to follow on when you said why, oh, because you're bigger or whatever, I was like, and they kept going.
Yeah, I think a lot of it they do. You kind of get, she was stunned that I'd actually got back, like called her out on it, but then she tried to actually explain herself and she couldn't. She had nothing to stand on. And at the end of the day, I said to her too, I appreciate your opinion, but I don't need to hear it. And I walked away. And that was hard because I felt my heart was pumping. I was like, oh my God, I've just said that. But at the end of the day, we have to kind of call people out if they say stupid things like that. It's just, wow. It's just, wow.
If you're someone that has said that stuff in your life, I want you to take a think about how, if that was said to you, but you don't know what that person's going through in their life. You don't know what's happened to them to get to this point. They could have some really interesting stuff or really tough stuff happening in their life. And all someone comes up to you and says, whatever size you are, oh, that doesn't look good, or you wearing that, or oh my God, you're showing too much skin or too much boobs or whatever, or your skirt's too short or whatever. You don't know what that can do to that person. And that could be the final comment that can really, you just need to be careful with your words.
Stop and think. Like, really stop and think. But yeah, exactly what you said. Would you appreciate someone saying something similar to you? Because I highly doubt you would. No matter how open you are to opinions, no one wants to hear that kind of commentary. And it's not needed. There's no need for it at the end of the day at all.
Yeah, I know you sharing this and being vulnerable, it will be helping so many women. So thank you, because I think it's really important, how part of you is being authentic and stuff. It's important to, yes, I'm confident. I love who I am beautiful. But you know what? Sometimes someone will say something to me and it will hurt, and I will question what I'm doing. I'll still keep pushing forward, but I'm human. So, because a lot of women will think, oh, positive, body positivity, body confidence, curvy models, all that stuff, they're all happy all the time and I love who I am. That's all BS, because we're all human and we will all have days where we look in the mirror and go, I don't like this, because it's built into us from the day we're born, from media, that we have to look at that. That's a thread that will never leave someone's head. It's like even when someone loses a lot of weight, they still think that they're fat. There's common things that are built into us that never leave. But I think, like you said, being authentic, it just, this conversation we've had today on this podcast is about awareness. It's about, not everyone is always 100% happy with their body, but 98% of the time is a pretty good hit rate. And then when things like this happen, when you're out, or when you decide to push boundaries, or you decide to get out of your comfort zone, and you get knocked back by some dickhead that says that, you can go, oh, I remember Holly, she felt like that. And they might reach out to you, or they might reach out to me and go, this happened to me. And it's opening the conversation that there is support out there. If you don't have support in your immediate group, the cool thing about online now is, I'm in Australia, you're in New Zealand, we're talking, we're going to talk again, and we're going to keep talking. And, and I love collabs and stuff, but that's what the stuff is all about. It's like getting to know people, talking to them, and women not feeling alone. And sharing common experiences, because then you don't feel alone, if any of this makes sense.
Yeah, That's exactly it. No one is alone. There's so many women. I can come across as very positive, very happy all the time. I am not happy all the time. And that's okay. That is okay. We don't have to be okay all the time. And to be honest, if you aren't confident enough to wear the beautiful dress, maybe wear some really nice lingerie underneath and no one knows it's there. You start small, and that's how it works. And at the end of the day, I find when I put on my favorite dress and I go out, people notice. And they say to me, wow, you look really good. And that's because I'm exuding the fact I feel good. And that's just me. I feel good. I'm in my favorite dress. I'm going out to see friends. People notice, and you will get compliments. And keep those for later. When you have a bad day, when you have someone say a BS remark, keep that comment that you had previously and remember that. But also remember that it doesn't matter what people say. You are beautiful. You're human. You are you. At the end of the day, no one can change that, and no one should be trying to change that because it's not their place.
True. That's very true. Well, I think you've answered my next question, because I've got here that what's one piece of advice you'd like people to know, but if you've got anything to add that you'd like something, one before we close, any one bit of advice or one bit of something that you'd like women to hear that they're listening to this?
I think it's just what I've kind of said previously, just remember that you are beautiful. And yeah, just do things for you. Don't do it for someone else. I'm really, really passionate about this. Regardless if you're in a relationship, if you are single, if you have a big family that are quite crucial to your life, do things for yourself. That might be simply wearing beautiful lingerie. That might be going for a massage, getting your nails done. It doesn't matter what it is. Do something for yourself and don't rely on other people to bring you happiness, because they won't. They may bring you a little bit of happiness every now and again, but you're the one that's got to bring it, not anyone else. And I'm really, really passionate about that because, you've got to do it yourself. You're the one that you're around all the time. You're in your head all the time. So you've really got to just bring your own happiness to this world and share it if you can, because we like to have the share. But, at the end of the day, it's all about you.
That is so beautiful. Now, before we go, I'd love you to share what's your website and your Instagram handle if people would love to reach out to you.
Awesome. So, my website is Belle, BELLE models.co.nz. So you can obviously check it out. You've got my email on there. You can send me a message. And my Instagram is Belle Models _NZ.
So they can reach out to you. It has been an absolute pleasure, Holly, speaking to you today and about everything to do with your agency and plus size and curve models and body confidence and body positivity and self-love and self-care. We covered a lot today.
We did.
But, I hope this can help women know that they're not alone, but also know that share their beauty with the world. And, if you want to do something different, we're always looking for hobbies, as women of any age, we're always looking to meet new people, meet people with similar interests. Why not put your name on a modeling books? No matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, if you're listening to this now and thinking, I've always wanted to do that. Don't let it stop you. Message Holly. She's beautiful. She's lovely. She'll make you feel so comfortable. And I'd love to hear you when you've joined her books and share with us your experience.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Even if you just want to jump into my inbox and chat, we're good.
That's awesome.
I'm here to talk and I'm here to share kind of the love. So it's really cool. Thank you so much, Barbara. This has been really great.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it has inspired you on your self-care journey. please feel free to share this with a friend and subscribe over on Apple Podcast. I really love hearing your feedback, so guys, please feel free to write a review on Apple and let me know which part of this episode resonated with you the most. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. To find out a bit more about Self-Care Studio or the Studio Chat podcast, head over to my Instagram page, self_care_studio, or on my website, selfcarebybarbarathomson.com.au. Really look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Look after you, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!